Hello everyone, this is Cari for Redesign with Prima, and in this episode I'm going to show you how to custom paint these resin molds. Well, they're the castings actually from our molds, and it's really simple to do and really fun and relaxing, and you can apply these techniques and methods to any of our castings for any of our molds. And they're so highly detailed, it's just fun to create little images of art. I made them into magnets, but these could be hung on your tree for Christmas or as decorative elements anywhere in your house. So we're going to get started and I'll tell you exactly my process and what I did. This mold is called Enchanted Shrooms. So I poured clear resin into the mold and left it overnight to cure. And you can see that I'm just pulling them out very carefully, and you can see all those little images come to life. Some of our molds are really intricate and some are more simple, but we offer a huge variety of different styles for any DIY projects. I just love these little mushrooms in the cloche, and you can hang them, and there's extra mushrooms that come with them as well. And I think these would be really fun on a Christmas tree or just hang in your window, whatever you want. So here's what I did. I started with heavy gesso. So this is from our Art Basics collection by Prima. It's made by Finnabair, and it's something you should have in your toolkit, because the heavy gesso allows you to paint not just resin but glass, and you can go ahead with other art mediums after this is cured and it won't come off. So it's really a nice primer to use, a nice base. So I just make sure I dab in there with my artist brush and get into all the little details really nicely and evenly. And then I let this dry for quite some time, a couple hours. Here they all are all ready to go. So they're ready for the next layer. And I'm actually going to use some of the gesso again and mix it with our burlap impasto paint. So I mix it up right on my little mixing mat here. It just gives it kind of a warm, soft feeling for the background that I'm going for. So I go over that generously and again allow this layer to dry for a couple hours. Now I add just a little bit more of the gesso. I just want to highlight some of those images on the casting, like the mushrooms and the butterflies and the leaves and everything, and just kind of give it a dimensional look, so to speak. And it's a really good idea to do this because it also makes your colors that you add to this later more vibrant. So you notice that I don't completely cover it. I still want some of that tan color to come through. Like I said, I'm just highlighting a little bit, so it's not a complete coverage, just kind of dry brushing it on. Next, I'm going to color all the little images with liquid acrylic paints by Finnabair. It's from our alchemy collection. We offer a huge variety of colors. So I like to take the colors and just kind of put them on a glass plate, and then I keep the bottle next to the color because sometimes when you pour them on your plate, you're not exactly sure what color they are. They come out a little bit dark. So I like to kind of just keep track of what the colors are. And I use my art brush set. This is also by Finnabair. These are beautiful brushes to use. They clean wonderfully, and they are small enough to get into all those little details. Now, what's great about my method here is that you don't have to be exact when coloring with these liquid acrylics. I am going to show you why toward the end of the video, but you just want to add color generally. You know, you don't have to be exact. You don't have to be too neat or too tidy with this. And that's what makes it even more fun, because I think sometimes when you're trying to be too perfect, it takes away the fun of the creativity, and that's not what we really want here. And I'm going for kind of a, you know, an aged look on these as well. So that's also important to know. Now, you can add these liquid acrylics without putting that first layer of gesso and impasto paints on there. You can color the resin right out of the molds, just so you know. So the liquid acrylics are really versatile, and I've also used them to help color glass. They really kind of drizzle and go on really beautifully, and the colors stay true to themselves, very vibrant. And I will have all of the colors listed in the description, so you don't have to worry about that. I will go through the colors with you in the description, and then you'll know exactly what I used. And here I'm just dabbing in some more of those colors toward the bottom, and it goes in there really well. The liquid acrylics are actually a little bit more forgiving because they're more fluid, so they go into all the crevices of your castings really, really perfectly. So one thing to know about the liquid acrylics is that they're very concentrated. So the color that you put on there is going to stay that color. It's not going to fade or water down unless you want it to. You can add water to these to make them a little bit lighter. You can also mix colors to make your own custom colors. They're really, really versatile, and I love using them. Now for this next step, I wanted a little bit of like blue in the background, and this glaze that we make, it's called Mint Condition. It's from the CC Restyle collection by Redesign. I just thought it added just a really pretty light aqua color just for the background, and I'm just taking my brush and kind of going in there in the spaces and stuff, but I'm not going directly to like the images. I'm just kind of going around it. And, you know, if you get a little bit extra on there that you don't want, you can take a baby wipe and remove it. It's really easy, or just your finger. While it's still wet, it comes off really nicely. Once it's dry, it's a lot more difficult to get off. So, but this, you know, you just trust the process and just kind of go in there, and you don't have to be neat with this either. And I just love the color that it gives for that glass. It's supposed to be kind of like glass, but I wanted a little bit of blue in there. And it goes so beautifully with that bright orange. It's the tiger orange and the ochre. And yeah, there's just really something to be said about this color matched with those brighter colors. Now I wanted to add a little bit of shimmer to these, and the base of these castings, it's supposed to be kind of like a wood base, and it's very textured. I thought the gold would look really beautiful in there and just kind of make it a little bit shimmery. It just adds a nice touch. Of course, you can go in with brown paint if you want it to be wood, authentic wood looking. But I thought the gold just kind of lightened and brightened it up a little bit and added a perfect amount of shimmer. The Sparks paints are very, very sparkly, and these go on surfaces like you wouldn't believe. I even mix it in my resin at times. Now here I'm going in with just a glaze. It's just a brown glaze. You can also make your own glaze just by watering down brown paint and going over it. Now this is the part where I was telling you you didn't need to worry about being exact with all those images, because this glaze actually fills in all those little gaps where like maybe you didn't color it right to the edge, or you know, you maybe missed a spot or something like that. But this glaze just kind of brought out all those details because it sinks in and just kind of gives it even more dimension. And I just really love how that turned out. Now I do seal these. I'm using a 3D gloss gel, also by Finnabair. This will not only seal it, but add a little bit of shine too. So it makes it look like glass. And to me, these look like something I would have, you know, had in the 70s. And I just love the retro look of how these come together. Now I'm adding sepia, Art Alchemy wax, also from the Finnabair line. Now the sepia is just going to go in and just darken and deepen some of those raised areas. Like you can see, I'm putting it around the bottom there, and it really kind of brought out those lines, and it matches really well with the gold. And then you can take your finger and just kind of lightly go over more of the images and just make them even more dimensional. Here I also add just a tiny bit more shimmer just around the edges of the glass. Well, it's supposed to be glass. And the wax just kind of added a little bit more shimmer and shine and softness to the whole thing. And it helps hide like the edges if you had, you know, colors go over the edge or something like that. It just neatens it up and adds another aspect of, you know, detail. Here I'm just adding little pieces of black satin ribbon because I am going to make these into magnets, and I thought the black ribbon just kind of finished them off nicely since I won't be hanging them from anything. The ribbon just looks so sweet, and you can certainly choose any color you like. And I'm using this fast drying super glue gel. So you spray on this one part and then you put the glue onto the magnets, and they dry super fast, so it's instant. And the magnets are very, very strong too. So I used 2 just so it could actually hold things on my fridge. So here they are all finished. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and please let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them for you. And make sure to like and subscribe to see more DIYs. Have a great day.